Hello everyone, my name is Viet Dong and my presentation is about solar system and hybrid system. At the end of our presentation, we try to combine the two systems together in order to power up our house. At daytime, when there's a lot of sun, we can use solar system to power up our house, and at nighttime, we can switch it into a hybrid system and power our house. The goal here to reduce costs, stay off-grid, and it's also a backup system for a small commercial house, and it can be powered everywhere in the world. For example, in desert or somewhere in Africa where utility company couldn't get there. And let's go into detail of individual component of hybrid system. So in hybrid system, number one, we have battery packs. We have battery management system, what I already took off. So the battery management system, it will monitor state of the batteries, the percentage of battery. It monitor the decay of battery cycle. It's monitor safe operating charge discharge at a certain time. It monitor fall and starters. For example, something going on with the system like overload, short circuit, ground fault will shut off the battery itself. And the input side, we also have voltage, temperature, current. It will monitor all that. And down here is the typical design of this management system. So we have battery control here. It monitor individual cell voltage and current. It's also monitor the whole pack, battery, voltage, and current. So over here, it has a switch. If it sends something dangerous or unsafe, or the battery lows, it will shut off the battery before it goes into the motor controller. It's also monitor the current. So let's go a little bit here so we can see. This is current sensor, this is contactor, and we have a fuse here, and we have these two terminal that's going to the battery, and this one is the breaker. So I turn it off, so there's no voltage right here going on. And then the second component of hybrid car is the inverter. So the inverter have four part actually. They have the inverter, they have the capacitor, and they have the coil right here, what they call voltage booster. So what it does from DC from here, before going to the inverter, it will be smoothed out by the capacitor, and then it's going in here. This device will make DC voltage at 200 volt up to 600 volt to give the inverter a little bit more power. And this inverter function is to make DC into AC for motor generator 1 to drive the car, motor generator 2 to drive and generate DC to go back to the batteries. And this is electrical design of that inverter right here. So as we can see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 IBGT. IBGT stands for insulated bipolar gate transistor. So 6 transistor right here. It go with pair, and you can see this one is phase 1, from here to phase 2, and this pair is phase 3. And we have the control circuit. This control circuit is to open and close this one to make DC become AC to drive it, to drive the motor. And as you can see, when the motor slow down, it's going back to the battery and charge it. How is that going back? Let's talk about how is that going back. It's called rectifier. So when our motor slow down, it's an AC voltage, and then it will go into transformer. This transformer will step down that voltage into that battery pack voltage, and then after it's going through the rectifier, it make AC into DC. it will make AC side become DC side like this. And then of course it will filter up to make this curve smooth before it send out and charge the batteries. And the next component after the inverter, we have another component they call converter. And this converter right here, as you can see, it take high voltage DC right here. You can see the two wire. It take high voltage DC from battery pack, and then it convert it into DC. It step down to DC to charge the 12-volt battery in our car. And over here we also have another inverter right here. This part right here, the small part right here, it will also take that DC and convert it into AC to use HVAC and air conditioning in our car. That electric air conditioning right here. And that's it for our hybrid system. And how do we connect it into our house? Oh yeah, so this we can connect either into this one into the panel, or this side into the panel. Okay. And let's go for solar system. And our solar system, we have solar panel which I install outside in the group. It's 14-volt DC and operate at 13 amp. And right now, because the sun going down, so we don't have a lot of sun now, but we still have 12.6 volt coming out of that solar. That's very powerful from the charge controller right here. And you can see flashing would mean we have power going to the solar that going to the battery right now. And this controller will take electrical, make sure that when the electrical go into the battery at safe level. When the battery is full, it will shut down. And at night, you can see the solar will shut down by itself. Only the battery will provide the power to the output. And then after they charge the battery, we have the inverter. The inverter will take the voltage from the batteries and invert it into AC. At daytime, they can convert DC directly from the charge controller, but at night time, to be consistent, we have to take power from our batteries right here, to make it to make AC to use in the house. I don't have the panel right here, so I put AC in here, and you can see here. And the output that I set up, I have two output. This one going to the light. You can see the cord going to the light bulb. And right now we have power meter at 0 amp, right? So I set it at amp. If we turn it on, there you go. And the power is set. It's using 0.1 amp, 0.1 amp. And another output I set it up is the motor, DC motor. We're gonna go quickly because we don't have time right here. So I'm gonna use that 120 volt to drive the 90 volt DC motor. So this DC motor setup, we have a power board. We provide power to the motor. We have driver board, which drive the speed of the motor. And this is the controller. So we have start button right here. We have stop button right here. We have slow down button, and go faster button right here. Speed button right here. So right now let's test and try out the motor real quick before we run out of time. So let's turn it on. So we turn it on, we can see the light indicator going on, and we hit the start button, and the power going on, and we see the motor is running. Right? The motor is running, and we can increase the speed of the motor by pressing the button here. See the motor running faster now? Running faster now and slowing down. that's all for our presentation. Thank you.